Ask the Minister for Policy and Reform what progress has been made with the Industrial JEGS process and what costs have been incurred to date.
Will the Minister for Policy and Reform to reply?
Mr Deputy President, the Industrial JEGS process is a job evaluation project being conducted by the Public Services Commission as part of a wider project to harmonise pay and grading structures for its employees in respect of both civil servants and manual and craft workers. Industrial JEGS is a modified version of the existing job evaluation scheme for the civil service and incorporates additional factors to be considered when grading jobs such as physical effort and dexterity and working conditions. The project was initiated in January 2017 and its primary purpose is to ensure that the Public Services Commission's pay and grading systems are compliant with the equal pay provisions of the Equality Act 2017, which will come into force in January 2020. The first stage of the project was to conduct full job evaluations of approximately 100 manual and craft worker roles, representing approximately 80% of the workforce. This included jobs such as housekeepers, caretakers, cleaners, catering assistants, social care workers, home care assistants, plumbers, joiners and electricians. This work was completed by August 2017 and the outcomes quality assured by a joint panel of PSC and union representatives in December 2017 and January 2018. The joint panel is currently in the process of job matching a further 60 roles against grading definitions established as part of the first stage of work. It is anticipated that this stage of the project will conclude by September 2018, following which the PSC Joint Negotiating Committee will finalise the pay and grading structures. All manual and craft employees will then be notified of the proposed assimilation arrangements onto the new structure and given the right of appeal if they are dissatisfied with the outcome in respect of their individual role. The target completion date for the project is 1st of April 2019. The project is being managed internally within existing budgets by the Office of Human Resources, although job evaluation support was provided for the first stage of the project from February to August 2017 at a cost of £63,530. There will be additional costs to government in the future arising from assimilation onto the new structures, as the project has revealed pay inequality in some areas, particularly in respect of jobs which are traditionally occupied by female workers. It is anticipated that more than half of the manual and craft workforce will see pay increases as a result of the project, with over 60% of the beneficiaries being women. The project demonstrates government's commitment to preparing for and then being compliant with the Equality Act 2017. Thank you, Mr Deputy President.
Thank you, Mr Deputy President. There is concern within some of the groups of employees that have had the process carried out that there hasn't been any update. So the Minister has clearly got a programme there, and I think it would be helpful if the communication was perhaps a little bit better. But the Minister also said it's to harmonise pay and grading with a modified scheme, but you still talked about a separate scheme for the civil service. So you are continuing with the JEGS process for the civil service, but you're creating an industrial JEGS process for the manual and craft workers. Can the Minister confirm that?
Minister to reply.
Thank you very much, Mr Deputy President, and I'm sure that Mr Deputy President will understand my answer was so complete because I wanted to make sure that the communication was complete. We are constantly striving to make sure that people understand where we are. There have been attempts to link this process with other processes that are ongoing on the moment, and I can only assume that the unions and all other people involved in this are making sure that there is good communication about where we are in the project and the process. Job evaluation and grading. Yeah, there are different systems. JEGS civil service. There's the JESP process for senior staff, for more senior staff. The Honourable Questioner knows that there are alternatives offered by Corn Ferry Hay, which have been used in some of the statutory bodies. it's a live issue with the Public Service Commission, with Council of Ministers that's ultimately responsible for, as an employing body, to make sure that we get value for money on every external system that we use inside our terms and conditions processes, especially and particularly grading and evaluation, and any support for making that from around government is always welcomed.
The supplementary question, Ms Edge.
Thank you, Mr Deputy President. So the Minister is confident that the PSC are utilising the correct grading system as in the Industrial JEGS process, and he did mention other systems. I'm just wondering if the Minister is aware of the differences between the systems, and perhaps, you know, he stated that there are some people that will get pay increases due to this, which is great to hear for some of our manual and craft workers, because they are the lower paid of all of the workforce. But so is he confident that we have utilised the correct system, and that perhaps really as a government and with statutory boards we should be looking at one system that's appropriate for the island, that is ensuring that all of our employees are paid adequately? And in particular, I suppose the area that I'm looking at is for the people that are earning much less than £50,000.
Minister to reply.
Thank you, Mr Deputy President. Yeah, as I said in my answer, the system used was quality assured between August 2017, and then that was considered by a joint panel of the Public Services Commission and the union representatives over Christmas in 2017-18. Yes, I do agree that alternative systems are available, and I can confirm that alternative approaches were considered. So when the project was initiated, alternatives were considered but discounted on grounds of cost. The introduction of a completely new job evaluation system for all PSC employees would mean over 4,000 jobs would have to be reviewed, which would have been cost prohibitive, require negotiation with the trade unions, and it was also determined at the time that the JEG system is tried and tested, and change for change's sake is not a good way, a good reason for making change.
Supplementary question, Ms Edge.
Thank you, Mr Deputy President. Can the Minister confirm then that the procurement process was fully carried out with regards to this process?
Minister to reply.
Thank you very much, Mr Deputy President. External support has been provided by Beamans Consultants Limited, who are the licensed providers of training and support for the JEGS job evaluation scheme, and I can confirm that procurement was authorised in accordance with financial regulations.